You guys being here. Just a shout out to the great environment and experience here in Pittsburgh and the amazing rivalry that this is. We appreciate it, and we appreciate victories like this in this environment against Pittsburgh because we have respect for them and for the rivalry. I'm very proud of our guys. I think it was the kind of victory that you can attribute to heart and character and toughness and finding a way to get the job done and never giving up and never flinching and having each other's back in the end. So a lot of guys stepped up. The two guys in this room, obviously, Anthony Brown and J.K. Dobbins, stepped up in a big way when we had it. We needed it the most. That drive in the fourth quarter will go down in history as one of the great drives in this rivalry. It will in my mind. I promise you that. So proud of everybody. Appreciate everybody. Trust everybody in this team. Love this team. Love this team. Love every guy in this team, and trust and believe in every guy in this team. And we're very, very proud of this victory. Past that, we're moving on to Cleveland. That's next, and that's our next challenge in Cleveland. Okay, what questions you have?
The players said mostly throughout this week that you're not a Raven until you beat the Steelers. Are you willing to call all your players the Ravens now?
Yeah, I mean, that's their thing. I appreciate that. It makes sense to me. Roquan talked about it when he talked to the team here after the game, and that's kind of their deal, you know. So I appreciate that, and I sure respect it. I think it's a very valid, valuable thing.
John, he had a really good preseason and training camp, Anthony, but how impressed were you with his poise? Just this is a tough place, starts at the 1 yard line, and just, you know, what he was able to do.
Right. I mean, the first play off the one, he throws a pass and completes it, you know, off the 1 yard line. That's pretty. But that's kind of how he is. You know, his personality is that. He is kind of calm and cool and collected. Very much student of the game. Works very hard at it in terms of preparing himself. Made great strides throughout the whole year, and then his opportunity comes up when you never know. When you might least expect it, there's your opportunity, and he stepped into it heroically.
John, you know about J.K. Game that he had, his first game back, the impact that having the running game led by him had on.
I mean, the running game was it, Cliff. I mean, the running game was what we needed in this game, and you know, 215 yards, a bunch of yards in the final drive there. I think a 7 minute 55 second drive in the fourth quarter, mostly on the back of the run game. J.K. had 115 yards, 120 yards, just running good, and not just J.K. I mean, let's look at Gus too. Let's look at that last first down, the two runs that Gus had. You know, those are tremendous runs, and then getting it. He came around there on that 34 power like a freight train coming through there. It was really well blocked. So that probably was as heroic a play as any. That series right there to get the first down and to salt the game away. I'm probably as proud of those three plays as any in the whole game.
John, I know we'll know more about Lamar Jackson later. There was a report that a player in the concussion protocol can't play in a short week. Do you know, does that rule Tyler Huntley out for Saturday?
No. It's a Thursday game they're talking about. So I'm talking to him right now. Listen, I can't speak onto it, but he seems good to me. He's reciting the months of the year backwards. Can you do that right now?
No, I can't.
Okay, so you know, we'll see how it goes. You trust the docs on that, and they'll do a good job with it. And whatever it is, it is. I mean, if Tyler can go, he'll be there, and Anthony will be backing him up. If he can't go, Anthony will be there playing, and Brent will be backing him up. So we'll go with what we got. And I promise you, everybody in that locker room trusts everybody we got.
You called it one of the great drives. When you, I know you'll watch film, but when you break down that fourth quarter, the drive, what worked best? What made it work so well?
I mean, I think the inside running, gap schemes, you know, were good. We did a really good job with our combinations between our guards and our tackles, tight ends and tackles. And then the inside zone stuff was really good, too. I mean, we really weren't looking at quarterback-driven stuff. That was old-fashioned run game, you know, in our offensive line. Tight ends, fullback, Pat Ricard, running backs, you know, did a great job.
John, in a game like this where points are of a premium, what's it say about your defense to get 3 interceptions? It's inside their territory. It's under 20.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Luke, you know the turnovers in this series have been kind of the thing, you know, and to get the 3 interceptions after they had driven down there speaks volumes. I mean, you know, Pat Queen, we can never say never talk about Pat Queen's hands again. You know, that's not he made that demand in the locker room afterwards, so that won't be allowed in the future. Those were great interceptions by him and Roquan. And then Marcus, you know, going and covering the ground he did to make that play shows you what he's capable of. So yeah, those are game-winning plays right there for sure.
So how about Ronnie Stanley and you guys running left?
You know, that's exactly right, Mike. I mean, Ronnie just, you know, when you have him out there, you're reminded of the level of player that he is. You know, and he does it all. He's pass protection, He does it in the run game coming off the ball. He does it pulling. You probably noticed that too, Mike. I mean, he had a number of times he pulled around there. Right there at the end, he pulled around there in that last couple plays. So just proud of that. Morgan played great. How about Tristan Colon coming in there and Ben Cleveland, because when Kevin couldn't go and playing the way they did, and Linderbaum continues to play at a high level. And Ben Powers, you guys never talk about Ben Powers. Maybe somebody did. Maybe there was an article. I forgot. But, Ben's been playing really good football. So that whole offensive line has been doing a great job.
John, if something would have happened to Anthony, who would have gone in at quarterback?
We're going to keep that top secret information right now, but we do have a name. Okay. I did ask that question recently, so we have a guy.
Would it be Mark Andrews?
He's definitely in the multiple choice options. How about that?
How do you feel about Calais Campbell and that block that he made for the field goal?
Oh yeah, I mean, golly, gee, I almost forgot about that. It's just like it said so much going on in the game. But Calais Campbell, I mean, he's I think he's a Hall of Fame player. He's definitely a Hall of Fame field goal blocker. There's no doubt about that. But just Hall of Fame man too, Hall of Fame leader.
Okay, John. Last one. A couple games in this recent streak against Pittsburgh have been just so razor thin in their margin to come out like this. I mean, do you attribute it to just all the kind of small things that you guys have built today that end up being the difference at the end there?
I'm sure there's a lot of small things we did really well. I think we stuck together. I think that's what we did. That was the thing. We did it together. That was probably the number one thing. All right, thank you.